Here's our card for tonight, and isn't it cute? Okay, you've never participated in a Zoom, Linda, or never done one yourself. And there, it is a fancy fold because it doesn't open all the way. This part is flat. Thanks. And I love the cutout, but to make it interesting, I added some of the DSP. So let's get, none at all, wow. All right, let's get started. I'm surprised. Here's our papers. I've done a couple of Zooms. In fact, the first Zoom I ever ran myself was for a book club. And it was interesting, but I didn't have the paid version then, so we were limited to 45 minutes. All right, excuse me. For this one, you need a card base that's 4 1/4 by 11. You're going to score it at 5 1/2, and then again at 6 1/4. Technically challenged. I have a lot of people say that. Thanks, Barb. All right. Then after you score it, make sure the other score line, when I first did this, I did it backwards, so I had to redo it, refold it. Make sure your other score line is on the top, and you're going to fold it back on itself, making sure you get a straight fold. All right. And then, oh, I forgot I'm pulling in my contraband. Sorry, guys. My tape hasn't come in yet. All right. I don't think it'll be here for at least through next week. All right. And I'm going to, not unless I expedite my order, and I don't think I'm going to do that because there's not a whole lot on it. I'm going to add 2 strips, and I'm adding it in between the 2 score lines. All right, got those down. I thought of you, Barb, when I did this card. I know you like daisies and blue, and I went, oh, that's the one I'm going to use. All right, so I'm going to take and I'm going to seal that down. All right, like so. And there's our fancy fold. And I know you're all saying, that's not a fancy fold, but it is. All right, you're going to take 2 pieces of the blue dot background from the Flowers for Every Season. One piece is 5/8 of an inch by 4 1/4, and the other one is 1/4 by 4 1/4. But I want to cut my edge first. So I pulled out this die from Ornate Borders, and I'm going to put it on here. Now, just to let you know, one side of this cuts and the other one doesn't cut. So I hope I'm using the right one. My thoughts are these are your 2 marks, but this side, see how it's kind of shorter on this side and longer on that side? I can find out real quick. Yep. Okay. You want the shorter side close to the edge. All right, and I'm going to try to line this up as close as I can get it. Top and bottom and on the side. And then I don't want this to shift, so I'm going to tape it in place. All right. And then I'm going to run this through. Oh, good idea, Linda. I'll have to remember. I'm going to run this through my Big Shot. Yep, it's cut now. I think my top plate is bowed a little, just ever so slightly. Hey, Pam. So that may be why it didn't cut. So I flipped it over to have the bow go the other way. And I'm going to take your hint, Linda, and I'm going to mark that with a Sharpie so I know. All right, there we go. And see, it cuts a nice little edge off. And I've got to take my pokey tool and poke all of these out. All right, so we've got our edge cut. Now, you're going to take the 5/8 inch one. Oops. Oh, is that 3/4? Yes, maybe this isn't 5/8. No, it's 3/4. Give me a minute. That die, Jenny, is Ornate Borders dies. There we go. So that piece goes there. I guess when I cut it, I didn't look at my directions and I just cut it at 3/4. So I'm going to put this on here. And this is just to give this area a little interest. And then this piece is going to go on the inside so you really see the cutout. So what I did was I opened my card up, I took my paper, and I made it even side to on the side and on the top and bottom. I didn't leave any kind of a border. Since this was white, I really wanted it to show. So that's what I did with it. So there's that. Now, for that first layer, I took a piece of Misty Moonlight that was 3 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then I took a piece of the Flowers for Every Season, and it's 3 1/2 by 4. And I'm going to put this on top. And get that stuck down. I love the blue pattern to this. This is one I wished we could buy, this pattern and the blue pattern only. I would buy so much of it, it isn't funny. Okay, now this I glued down. I'm going to glue it down flat, and the reason being is I'm going to pop up my sentiment and my, all right, and you got to make sure you get this on right, flower. So got that on there, stuck down like that, and I mean, it's such a pretty card. Then I took Thanks a Bunch, which is in the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set, which I know a couple of you had, and I stamped it with Misty Moonlight and cut it down to size. And then I took another piece of the Misty Moonlight and I cut it, and it ended up being 1 by 3 1/8. But this piece would be dependent on the size of that. So what I would do, hey Barbara, would be to cut this down first and then measure it so that you can take and get the right spacing. I'm going to come this way a little too much. Come on, don't you stick yet. Don't stick, don't stick, don't stick. All right, there, got it. This I'm going to put on with dimensionals. And I'm going to do one in the middle also, because this is a long strip and I want to make sure, actually I'm going to put 2 in the middle. I'm going to put one there and one down here. So my girls started, they had their virtual open house today. They haven't started school, that's next week. And just sent me pictures of both of them watching. And we were chatting afterwards. And she was saying she thinks Remy is going to do better at it than Zoe. And I said, why would you say that? And she says, well, number 1, Remy's excited about school. And number 2, she loves to video chat. She does. That girl, every time I turn around, she is calling me, FaceTiming me, and we will chat and chat and chat. She just loves to do video chat, so I think she will be fine with it. Zoe is more of a face-to-face type person. Okay, then I took the Celebrate Sunflowers, and I took the small one. And what I did with my stamp was I colored the petals with Bumblebee, I colored the center with Cinnamon Cider, and I colored the leaves with Just Jade, because that's the color in the paper. And then I stamped it and punched it out. And I'm going to take and I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back of this. I love coloring on my stamps so I can get different colors. That way you get you can have all kinds. Well, Zoe is 8. She used to text me a lot when she was younger. Not anymore. Remy, on the other hand, she's only 5. So she loves to chat. I mean, she will call me and she will ask me. She called me the other day. I was in the grocery store. So we're video chatting in the grocery store. And finally she hung up. I don't know why. All right, now I'm going to push this down as far as I can get it with my dies, or my dimensionals. There's that. And then to finish it off, I took one of the large gold glitter dots, and I put it right in the center for some bling. And there it is. This would be a great card to mass produce.